Dr. Susan Brown at Alkaline for Life and BetterBones.com. Today is day 13 of our social distancing, rather quite a bit of a lockdown in New York. We congratulate our governor, Mario Cuomo, who's doing a terrific job to try to control the situation in New York City as best as possible. Where there's such intense populations, there's certainly much more of a problem. Up here in upstate New York, we're in Syracuse. There is some issues, there's some cases, but it's not nearly as severe as downstate. Nonetheless, we all are doing our social distancing, working from home, and I must admit, you know, it was a little bit trying on me these last couple days, and I bet you've had the same experience. I tried to make some business calls, tried to do some dealings with some businesses, and it's so complicated because the computer's held up, the phones are held up, so many people aren't working. But nonetheless, I realized, got to make this a deep breath moment. I have to kind of quiet down, take some deep breaths. And today I'm going to talk about just a bit about breathing to boost immunity, actually, knowing that I need it as well as you do. One of my favorite things to do in the morning is the ancient Ayurvedic technique of doing a warm sesame oil massage, or you can do it with coconut oil. It's called Abhyanga. You warm the oil and then you massage the whole body. It's such a great way to calm the nervous system, to actually give healing properties to the skin. And actually, the Ayurvedic people say that you have a little bit of oil on your skin, it helps to protect the skin. So every morning I do this. I really love to do it. And yesterday I was listening to a video by Deepak Chopra, one of my favorite mentors and one of my favorite teachers of Ayurvedic medicine. And he had a little time on his hand, like most of us, and he said, well, let me talk a little bit about breathing. And he went in to review an article by Carolyn Williams that was presented some time ago in the New Scientist magazine that talked about ways to breathe better, and the fact that we all breathe, it's very common, but most of us don't breathe really properly. And they went on to detail how deep breathing, particularly through the nostrils, breathing through the nose, has a direct communication with the brain and really can quiet down the parasympathetic nervous system. It stimulates the vagus nerve to quiet down the rest and relaxation response, and to quiet down the flight or fight response, that is, and to stimulate the rest and relaxation response. So he was saying how this deep breathing, which there are many techniques to do in Ayurveda, how this really calms the nervous system and can stimulate immunity. The article is really interesting. I'm going to post you a link to Deepak's video, and if you have a chance, you could watch it. It's very interesting, and at 9 minutes he starts talking about this particular breathing exercise, but all the way through he's talking about the importance of breathing through your nose, and so many of us tend to breathe through our mouths. The gist is breathing very deeply, and in fact the exercise he gives is alternate nostril breathing. We might not recognize, but we breathe through two nostrils, and at certain times of the day the right will predominate, and other times of the day the left will predominate. And if we balance out our breathing through the right and left nostrils, it's very calming to the nervous system, and it actually balances some of the two hemispheres of the brain. So this particular alternate nostril breathing is really great. And before I do that, because to do that I'm going to have to use my hand sanitizer because I'm going to be touching my own face. But before I do that, let's just take a minute. All of us can experience the value. You might have had a lot of things might be going great for you. A lot of things might be going a little haywire. Perfect always to take just a few minutes. We kind of close our eyes. We breathe in deeply and gently, and maybe we breathe into the count of even 4 or 5. Nice deep breath in. Then we hold our breath just a little, and then we exhale very slowly. If we exhale slowly, that's when we get the greatest benefit of relaxing the nervous system and encouraging the parasympathetic rest and relaxation response. So let's just take a couple minutes. We'll breathe in deeply, kind of hold that breath, and then have a deep relaxation. Sometimes we might even want to breathe in deeply, hold it for a few seconds, and then even come out with a sigh like a chance to let go of any stress and fatigue. At the Center for Better Bones, we encourage everyone to take a few minutes, maybe every few hours, and do these deep breathing exercises. I myself find that when I'm so busy thinking about things and feel so rushed, my breathing is short. My breathing is not a deep breath. A deep breath also alkalizes the chemistry, brings lots of oxygen into the system, and helps us to have a better nervous balance, but also a better pH balance. So I'd encourage all of us, let's take another deep breath. Let's exhale fully. And when I do this, sometimes I listen to some lovely music. It really puts me in another state of mind, another sense of well-being. I'll give you the link to Depak's video, which was called How to Instantly Influence Mood and Self-Regulate Your Biology. And the breathing technique, the pranayama, as they are called in Ayurveda, prana is life force energy, pranayama are these breathing exercises. The breathing exercises is alternate nostril breathing. Now, I was just reminded that if we could touch our face at all these days, we should wash our hands very carefully or have handy sanitizer. I just washed my face before I sat down with you, but I'm going to take my sanitizer. Oh yeah, and I got my formula figured out. I got my Everclear, I think it was the last bottle in the liquor store, and I've got my aloe vera gel. And the proportions to this that we saw on the internet, you'll have to verify it yourself, but we're 2 amounts of Everclear to 1 amount to the aloe vera gel. So I made a little bottle of this. I carry it around with me. I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to just put a little bit. You don't need too much, but you need enough to kind of wet the hands, as I understand. And if you have any correction, please let me know. We're all in this together. We're all trying to figure out how to stay safe and how to deal with the possibility that there's a virus right in our environment. So if I sanitize my hands, the alternate nostril breathing, you start by sitting up nice and tall, and then you essentially close one nostril with your thumb, and maybe you exhale completely, kind of you get the lungs empty to create a nice big vacuum, and then you breathe in deeply. In this case, I'm going to close the right nostril and breathe through the left. You maybe inhale to the count of 4, 5, even 6, and then you want to hold that breath, maybe to the count of 7 or 8, and then you use your ring finger to close the other nostril. So I breathe through the right, I hold, and then I use my ring finger to close the left, and I exhale, a nice, slow exhalation. Breathe in, hold, exhale through the other nostril. Breathe in again through the nostril that's open. Hold, and exhale through the other nostril. I have linked you to a little video, a lovely Indian woman who's showing 3 different types of pranayama. There are many YouTube videos on this, and Depak's video also details it a little. Maybe you don't get into the high science of these breathing exercises. Maybe you just do some simple deep breathing, or maybe you say, I've got a few minutes. Let me go see what the science of pranayama is about. It's all about bringing life force into our body, and it's kind of very interesting how when we breathe, our sinuses create this swirl of air through our nostril that actually adds nitric oxide. It kills bacteria, it helps kill virus, and it even relaxes the blood vessel. All of this through breathing through the nostril. And the point here is that the deep breathing should be through the nostril. And we can imagine we're calming the body, we're even balancing the brain, balancing the nervous system. So I suggest you get your sanitizer, keep it with you at all times, practice some breathing exercises, and know that we here at the Center for Better Bones, right along with you, are trying our very best to stay buoyant, to stay flexible, trying to do our nutrients. You know, in my case, when I get a little upset or off kilter or too rushed, I might forget the nutrients. I'm trying to remember, do the nutrients, and also to get those vegetables. Take the time to steam the vegetables. Maybe tomorrow I'll show you the simple little way that I always prepare simple vegetables. Love to have your comments if you have any questions. In the meantime, stay strong. Enjoy your social isolation. Today's a gorgeous day, one of the few really sort of sunny days that we've had in a long while in upstate. I'm going to get outside, and maybe tomorrow we'll do a little video from outside. Be well. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.